Hi, so winter is almost upon us. Yes, CAT 2022 is just round the corner. Keeping this in mind, we know each and every one of you is really excited but is also looking for the last final push and the fillip that is going to add those extra 5, 10, 15 percentile to your final CAT score. Well, because of this, BYJU'S exam prep brings to you the last lap to CAT 2022 starting on the 17th of October all the way till the 20th of November. Yes, 4.5 intensive, in fact almost 5 intensive weeks of preparation. What more, the focus is predominantly going to be CAT, which means, as we know, time, speed, distance and time and work in totality have almost equal weightage or sometimes even more weightage than geometry. So can we go ahead and leave geometry and just focus on these two? Can we go ahead and leave entire theta para jumbles and still score a 99.99 percentile in verbal? Yes, we can. This and much more in terms of preparation, in terms of intensive questions that we're going to look at and the smartest way of going ahead and solving that. So catch us on the BYJU'S exam prep app, and in case you missed that, on YouTube. But go ahead, download the BYJU'S exam prep app and also get a 99 percentilers kit which is going to help you ace CAT 2022. See you soon.
Good noon, all of you. I hope I'm clearly visible and audible to all of you. Hi, Varun. Yes, good noon. I'm doing well. I hope the same for you. So yes, those of you who do not know me, I am Nikita and I welcome you to this session of NMAT language skills, right? So I am sure some of you have actually decided when you're going to take NMAT. Some of you already booked your slots. So what all comes in language skills, and we are going to practice some questions today, okay? We are going to be fast today. We are going to practice some questions. We're going to cover the various topics that are asked from you in the language skills section. Good noon, Pragya. Good noon. Okay. So, right. So, I think you also must have seen the exam pattern. A while back, I took this session wherein I talked about what was the exam pattern, how you should prepare for the language skills section, all of those things. So, the session was called NMAT Language Skills. In case you didn't see it, in case you want to know how to prepare for each topic in the language skills section, you can watch that session. Okay. All right. Now, that we have established what we are going to discuss. So we are going to look at NMAT language skills topics, we are going to solve some relevant questions, and we are going to learn to approach various question types. That is on the agenda for today. Okay, so what all are the topics that are asked in language skills? What is the syllabus? Yes, let's talk about that. Good noon, Ritika. Good afternoon. NMAT day after tomorrow. Any last minute tips? I am sure, Varun, you have taken some NMAT mocks. Just remember that it's an adaptive test. So, in the first few questions, try to get them accurate. Okay, your accuracy in the first few questions matters, because once you get the first few questions accurate, no, your bar, your graph of marks is automatically raised to a higher level once that happens. So even if, let's say, at question number 9 I get it wrong, I get question number 9 wrong, then even if, let's say, that there is a slight decrease in my, or there is a slight decrease in the rate of increase in my graph, it will not be as flat, as steep as it would be otherwise if I get my question 1 or question 2 wrong. I hope you're getting what I'm saying. Your first few questions, when you get them correct, you progressively move to a difficult question level and correspondingly higher marks level. So try to raise it right in the beginning so that even when you get easier questions on getting something wrong, they still fetch you higher marks than you would if you got these initial questions wrong. Right? So that would be my first tip. Secondly, see, last year in a lot of slots, the RC passages were asked at the end. So it was not a problem for the student because those are the ones that are the most time consuming. Okay, so students first attempted their vocabulary grammar and then they came to the RCs. But in this year, we've seen that in some slots. So for instance, I took the NMAT. In my slot, RC passages were in the middle. After, I think, the first 7, 8 questions, I was asked 2 RC passages. So here we have to be smart now. See, for instance, for me also, one RC was easy, one RC was, I mean, it was difficult in terms of language, in terms of reading, right? So I know that I cannot skip any question, but that does not mean that I'm going to spend an inordinate amount of time, an excessive amount of time on the difficult passage. I can't afford to do that because a lot of my questions still remain, right? So don't make this mistake that you spend a lot of time on a particular question type just because it's an adaptive exam and you have to attempt every day. Be smart around it. Make calculated guesses and proceed. Okay, if you're just not able to understand the question, in that case, just make a random guess and proceed. Don't be so bothered about getting it wrong that you're not able to reach the end of the paper. So that would be my last minute tip for you. Okay, tip number 2. So I hope this helps you, Varun. Good noon, Aniket, Apurva, Ekta, Divyashri. No, Divyashri, this is not a guarantee that NMAT RC passages are always easy. So, for instance, as I'm telling you about my slot, in my slot, one was an easy RC passage, okay? But so this one was about black holes. Now, in our cat mocks, we gave a passage on black holes which was quite similar to what came in the NMAT actual exam for me. So therefore things became pretty easy here, and otherwise also the questions were more on the direct side. But here the second passage that I got, this was about the identity, the construction of identity of women in the post-colonial world. So the topic itself was relatively philosophical, political philosophy, and then the questions were also inferential in nature. Most of the questions were inferential in nature. So it's not essential that it's not a given that all your NMAT RC passages are going to be easy. Okay, we should not go with any such preconceived notion. So we should just know how to handle a difficult passage, how to navigate very quickly through an easy passage. Those are the things that we should know. Okay. First few questions, yes, Karthik, we should always make this attempt that our first few questions are correct, okay, for each section, okay. However, don't be over cautious, right? Don't spend again an inordinate amount of time just on the first few questions such that you're not left with any time for the remaining questions, okay. So strike a balance, learn to strike a balance. This is an adaptive paper, you need it. Yes, we can choose the order of our sections. Yes, Varun, that choice is there. Right, so I took the NMAT in October. I think I took it on 20th of October. I scored 111 out of 120 in language skills. So I'll share some of my observations with you about various question types today. Okay, so language skills and RCs, as I've told you, I got two RC passages, one easy, one tricky, 5 questions from each passage, right? So 10 questions from RC passages. I've also told you the topics. Now, the next topic that I got was para jumbles. No, not exactly the next topic. The next topic that we are going to discuss is para jumbles. So let's talk about them. The relief is that unlike CAT, NMAT gives you multiple choices. Yes, these are MCQs in NMAT. So this makes them an easy to moderate category. Okay, because there are options. I am not saying that there can be no difficult para jumble, but most of them are on the moderate side at the most, right? Because you have options, because you can eliminate. So in my slot, I got two 4 sentence type and two 5 sentence type para jumbles. Okay, so 4 questions in all. 3 of them were pretty easy. We could, eliminate using the options, and we could make links also very quickly. One of them was slightly tricky because of the options again. There were two close options, and if a student marked in a hurry, then she could have marked the wrong option, right? So that was my analysis of the para jumbles. So let's have a look at one 4 sentence type, one 5 sentence type. We'll have 5 options because NMAT gives you 5 options, and we'll see how to arrange sentences, how to spot links. Let's have a look. Right. So, question number 1, what do you say? Your options are on your right hand side. Para jumble, you have to give me the correct order. Let's see who answers the fastest. Okay, so Varun says D. All right. Others, what do you say? Come on, what has happened, guys? It's been a long time. C, okay. All right. What else? What else? A, okay. Varun has changed his answer. Divya says D. Pragya D. Okay. So A, C, D. And okay. Okay. D, C, E. All right. All right. A was deleted by the student, perhaps. Yes. So, I think there are a lot of links here in this paragraph, right? For instance, they behave. So, of course, 3 cannot be the opening sentence. But fortunately, see, take the help of options here. So, here 4, 5, 2, they are given as the opening sentences. So, anyway, 3 is not the opening sentence. Anyway, 1 is not the opening sentence, right? So, if you see here, this is in the present tense. Okay, this is in the past tense, right? And yes, okay, so these two are in the past tense, 4 and 1. In an experiment, aggressive head pecking was all but eliminated among birds in the enriched environment. The birds spent far more of their time, up to a third, pecking at the inanimate objects in the pens, in contrast to birds in other pens which spend a lot of time attacking others, right? So 4 and 1 looks like a pair. We are talking about an experiment that was conducted, that aggressive head pecking was all about eliminated among birds in the enriched environment. So in fact, what they did was they pecked at inanimate objects rather than attacking others. So became less aggressive, right? So it was almost eliminated. So once you realize that you've solved your question, okay, so you can see 4, 1 together only in option C. So option C is the answer. So two actually is a topic sentence. It says commercially reared chicken can be unusually aggressive and are often kept in darkened sheds to prevent them pecking at each other. So this tells me that okay, in the rest of the sentences, I am going to talk about commercially reared chicken. So the birds refers to them, they refers to them. Okay, birds, which birds? Commercially reared chicken. So two is the topic sentence. So then I'm saying that they are often kept in darkened sheds to prevent them pecking at each other. How does this help? In low light conditions, when they're kept in darkened sheds, they behave less belligerently, less aggressively. Synonym of aggressive, but are more prone to ophthalmic, eye related disorders and respiratory problems. When you keep them in darkened sheds, this is what happens. This is the consequence. So altering the bird's environment, just alter the bird's environment by adding bales of wood shavings. Add wood shavings to their pens instead of, let's say, keeping them in low light conditions. That can work wonders. And then we talk about an experiment, okay, wherein we did this, wherein we kept wood shavings to their pens, added wood shavings to their pens. So 5, 4, and then 1. This is the order here. So you do have to read the sentences. You can't skip reading the sentences. I don't recommend that. You just look at the first few words and then you mark the answer. But you have to be smart about making links. Okay. For instance, you may not understand, let's say, ophthalmic. It's okay. You need not understand the meaning of ophthalmic. Right. Then just spotting this thing helps us so much. So grammar based clues, both are in the past tense, others are in the present tense. Right. And here, of course, they, birds, the birds, all those clues. And lastly, of course, understanding the theme, what is being talked about, right? So theme-based clues, grammar-based clues, noun-pronoun relationships, etc. Making links, making mandatory pairs, and eliminating using options. Things that you already know, right? Something that Savitri ma'am also told you when she conducted the last lab to get session on para jumbles. right? So just take care of these things and you'll be sorted. Okay, so this was, in my opinion, not a very difficult question. Let's have a look at another one. This is a 4-sentence type. Last one was a 5-sentence type. So here are your options. And again, do not solve completely through options. Some students make this mistake. Just glance at the options. So if you see A, B, C, D, either of them could be the opening sentence. So in a glance, the options don't really help me. Okay, so let's have a look then. We have no choice but to read the sentences. Let's read them and find out the answer. Fastest fingers first here. Yes. Absolutely, Kaushal. Correct, correct. So noun pronoun relationship, no. Commercially reared chicken is what is being talked about in the rest of the sentences. So the rest of the sentences are the birds, they, but they don't name the bird. The name is given only in two. Absolutely. So we can narrow down to 3 and 5. Okay. Let's see, let's see. Okay, so Janvi has answered the fastest. She says B, Bangalore. Varun says D, Delhi. Okay, Devesh says C. So B, C, D, all right. Okay, I've got three Bs. All right. That's it for how many responses? Just 6 responses. Okay, C, E, D, all right. So varied responses this time. Okay, everything except A has been stated in the chat box. Let's have a look. The opening sentence is pretty easy here. In my opinion, the opening sentence is very easy here. See, because we are talking about different levels of demand in the other sentences. So we talk about demand of individuals, we talk about aggregate demand. So probably this is the opening sentence. All levels of demand, whether individual, aggregate, local, national, or international, are subject to change. This is my topic sentence because this is what is elaborated in the rest of the sentences. The demand of individuals tends to vary with changing needs and rising income. So first I say, okay, they are subject to change. Then I say, how are they subject to change? With changing needs and rising income. Okay. Aggregate demand fluctuates with changes in the level of business activity, GNP, and national income. So these are the factors that affect the aggregate demand. And at the same time, see, we are talking about macroeconomic factors, factors that are common to the whole economy and not just confined to an individual. At the same time, science and technology add new dimensions to products, their uses, and the methods to market them. So this is also something that is going to affect not just the individual demand, but the demand collectively of various products. So CB therefore are related. So ADCB is the answer here. I actually thought that E is a close option, but it's good that very few of you actually said E. Okay. ACDB will not fit because of two reasons. See, first of all, C and B, they both talk about macroeconomic or the factors affecting the whole economy, right? Macroeconomic factors. That's one reason. Secondly, a very simple reason. Let's say you don't understand this as much. I mentioned individual first and aggregate later. So it's quite natural for any writer to keep the sequence the same while elaborating also. So first individuals and then aggregate, right? B, Bangalore is the answer. Absolutely correct, Kaushal. Okay, it is going from, okay, that in A, it is going, yes. Absolutely, Janvi. Correct logic, correct logic. Going from micro to macro. Correct. Okay, so I hope this gives you some insight into how to attempt parajumbles. Just take care of these few things that I've told you and also eliminate. Actually, parajumbles are pretty attemptable in NMAT, okay, because there are options that are given to you. Okay, and we can't decide when to attempt because the exam will randomly throw these questions at us and we'll have to tackle them at that very time, right? Okay. If I talk about error identification, so see, why have I specifically stated in my slot, because in fact, even in the same slot, the question types have differed for students. This happens with NMAT because it's an adaptive exam. It is different for each individual, even in the same slot. Sometimes there are similarities in the same slot, sometimes there aren't. So that's why I'm very specific about what I'm stating. So I got 4 error spotting questions. These were easy to moderate. If you have, religiously attended various grammar sessions, and if you have practiced questions on grammar, that's also important. Practiced questions on grammar and know your concepts right, then these were not very high level concepts that were asked from you. So attemptable, easy to moderate, actually on the easier side only, right? So let's have a look at this very short question. Tell me if there is an error. If there is an error, you have to say, okay, A has an error, B has an error. If there is no error, then E is your answer. Yes. I got 111 out of 120 in language skills. Then I usually do not attempt the analytical reasoning part, I attempt the logical reasoning part. So I got 100 something. I do not attempt quantitative aptitude at all. So my overall score was 235. Yeah. Let's have a look at question 3. B Bangalore. Critical reasoning becomes a bit tricky. Um, Actually, what happens is that again you are within a short span of time. That is why critical reasoning perhaps seems tricky. Another reason why it may seem tricky is because of 5 options. So in a lot of exams we are used to eliminating out of 4 options, but here we have to do it out of 5. So those are the reasons why it may appear tricky. Otherwise, if you ask me to compare the critical reasoning of, let's say, ZAT with NMAT, NMAT is much easier. Okay, so NMAT's critical reasoning is much easier as compared to, let's say, a ZAT. So overall in the hierarchy, I would say it's an easy to moderate level. And if, let's say, you found it difficult in the mocks, then please go through the questions from the official guide, the CR questions from the official guide. They are going to help you to realize what all question types are asked, how to eliminate those things, right? The good thing is that the official guide has detailed explanations, answers, so you'll not face a problem on that front. Okay, so I've got B Bangalore from a lot of you. Then I've got one D and one E also. I apologize if I were rude to you at the party. So you are absolutely right. B is erroneous. This person is not giving a hypothetical scenario here. We use the if I were structure. What is this? This is a hypothetical conditional. When we talk about things that did not happen, things that did not happen. Here, it's a very real possibility that this person was rude. Okay, so if I was rude to you and not if I were rude to you, right? So, uh, do you need to know your hypothetical conditionals well. Okay, if I were, if I had been, right? What is the difference between these two? You need to know your conditionals well. You can be questioned on them, right? Coming to question number 4. CR is doable. Yes, CR is pretty doable. And in fact, this time in NMAT, your logical reasoning section has majority of the questions from verbal reasoning. Okay, let me just give you the exact number. I have it written down. Uh, just a second. 22 to 23 questions in LR were from verbal reasoning. And out of these 20 to 20, by verbal, I include critical reasoning also in verbal reasoning. Out of these, 15 questions were from CR. 15 questions were from CR. Okay. And the remaining questions, they were from your analytical reasoning. Okay. Missing letter, rectangles, all of those things. Right. Okay. So B, E, does not, or no error. The rich, the moment I say the rich, see, rich is an adjective. Yes, rich, poor, adjectives. But the moment I add a the to it, it becomes a plural noun. Okay. It means I'm talking about all the rich people. All the rich people. Okay. So the rich, the poor refers to all the rich people. So for instance, the young are often reckless. The young are often reckless. The rich do not always exploit the poor. So this has to be do not. Okay. E is not the answer. Good. Quite a few of you said B here. So yes, your error spotting questions were of this level only. You could attempt them easily if you knew your basics right. Okay. All right. Now in prepositions, we had 4 fill in the blanks based on prepositions with 3 blanks, right? Basically 3 blank, 3 sentences with 3 blanks. I'll just show you the question format, and they were easy to moderate. Why? See, while some of the prepositions could be tricky for you, okay, some of the prepositions, some of the sentences where there were blanks could be tricky for you, the options were easy. That's what I found. That the options which asked for the combinations of prepositions, they were easy. Let me just show you a question type. It will be clearer that way. See, this is the question type that was asked. So 3 sentences with 3 blanks, all 3 will be filled by prepositions, right? Now, multiple such prepositions were given, okay? And then you had these combinations in the options. So CED means that in the first blank for should come, in the second blank from should come, and in the third blank towards should come. That is what this option means. So tell me which is the correct sequence, correct combination out of the lot. Karthik says 2. Okay. Spoon of flavor says 4. Okay, 2, 4. All right, all right. 5, 5 also. Some of the questions were in fact easier than this question that you currently see on your screen. Okay, so by NMAT standards in my slot, this is a moderate level question. Okay, so 2, 4, 5. 2, 4, 5. This is what I've got. Let's have a look. Now, this is the reason why we ask you to be well versed with phrasal verbs also. What are phrasal verbs? Verb plus a preposition or an adverb. Plus a preposition or adverb with a fixed meaning. With a fixed meaning. Okay. A verse is always followed by 2. If you are averse to an idea, you basically are against it, you don't accept it, you're not in favor of it. Okay. So if let's say she's averse to going on the trip, that means she does not really want to go on the trip. So a verse 2. A verse is always followed by 2 and B. Therefore, you should have narrowed down to 3 and 4. The train is bound for Chandigarh. If the train is going to Chandigarh, no, we say the train is bound for Chandigarh. Okay, bound for means going to a particular place. Again, carries a fixed meaning. Bound for, going, destined for a particular place, right? So 3 has to be C, and that's why our answer is BAC. They are bound by love. Basically, in a way, they are tied to each other by love. So they are bound by love. So therefore, 4 is the answer. No other option, actually no other prepositions can fit here. They're bound towards love. The train is bound towards Chandigarh. No, the train is bound for Chandigarh. Why isn't it towards? That, acha, you're saying the train is bound towards. The train is bound towards. The train is going towards Chandigarh would be correct. The train is going towards Chandigarh. Fine, okay. So basically it is going in the direction of Chandigarh. But bound, as I said, with bound, we use for. When we talk about that, okay, this is the destination of the train is bound for Chandigarh, not towards. Okay, so usage of preposition sometimes they are decided by custom convention, not really by a lot of logic there, right? So you have to read a lot and you have to solve a lot of preposition questions to understand, okay, that this verb will be followed by this preposition or this particular idea takes this preposition only. So for instance, we say he was beside himself with joy. He was beside himself. Now beside actually means next to. But in this idiomatic usage, we say he was beside himself with joy. I think this question came in the exam. That's why I'm able to recall this. So one of the options was besides himself. But the point is that this is the idiomatic usage. He was beside himself, right? So you can't change it. And if I try to decipher it literally, he was next to himself does not make sense also. But then that's how it is. Okay? A verse towards this idea. He is a verse to this idea is what I've heard, what I've read. He's a verse. No, he's a verse to this idea, not towards. Okay, because see, to versus towards, the choice arises when we are talking about literal distance, literal directions. So she's going to Chandigarh or she's going towards Chandigarh. When we are talking about it literally, going to some place, then we have a choice between to and towards. Here, there is no such choice. Here, the usage is fixed, right? Okay. Now, question 6. Let's see what you say. Okay. We've discussed one of these prepositions in an earlier session. 3, all right. Okay. 3, 1, all right. So I've got 3 ones and 2 threes. 1 has an upper hand. Anyone who would like to give 3 an upper hand? Okay. 1 is overwhelmingly ahead now. 3 or 4. Good, Pragya, good. That means you understand that in the first blank, the preposition should be by. Okay, so see, not everything can be translated from our mother tongue to English. So if let's say your mother tongue happens to be Hindi, in Hindi we say आपकी घड़ी में क्या time हुआ है, right? आपकी घड़ी में क्या time हुआ है. So may, in, if I translate it to English. But in English, when we ask someone the time, we say what is the time by your watch. Okay, Buy your watch. So buy is the preposition that we use in English and not in. So we can't translate everything from our mother tongues to English. A is the, A should fit in the first place, in the first space. And now let's have a look at the third one, right? Because the second one is B. They gave toffees to everyone except him. That's what I want to say. So but can also be used. See, we have all seen but as a conjunction, but is a preposition also. As a preposition, it means except. Okay, except. So coming to the last one, should it be C or should it be D? She's pining. When you pine for someone, see this is how I can explain it. When you pine for someone, you basically are longing for them. You want to meet them. Like lovers pine for each other. It's like they become very unhealthy because they are longing for each other. It affects their physical and mental health. So that is pining for someone, longing for someone, right? Uh, What is the time? No, 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 no. Yes, yes. Agreed, Murli. So in our conversations, nobody really minds. Nobody really cares so much about grammar in our spoken English, right? But in standard written English, and in fact, to be an effective communicator also. See, if let's say in a professional setting, you say what is the time in your watch versus if you say what is the time by your watch, that will actually show the difference between whether you know your grammar basics right or not, right? Whether you paid attention in school and college or not. So, by, but, and for. And our answer accordingly is this one, ADE, fourth. All right. So, I am discussing all those topics that came in my slot, and moreover, the good thing is that NMAT's official website had very clearly mentioned all these topics in advance. That these are the topics that we are going to question you on in the language skills section. Even for the other sections, the indicative syllabus, so to say, has been mentioned on the website, so you can go check that out. Okay. The next thing, which they called sentence completion. So in the beginning, when I showed you the syllabus, you must have seen something called sentence completion. That was nothing but vocabulary based fill in the blanks. So I got 6 fill in the blanks and they were based on 2 blanks. Okay, so all these questions basically had 2 blanks, right? Easy to moderate because I did not see very difficult vocabulary words, except I think one question. Not even sure if there was one question. I did not see very difficult vocabulary words in any of the options. So it was more about our logic and more about contextually inferring, okay, what fits, right? We had this session recently, cat fill in the blanks. There I discussed this concept of contextual inference at length, that how you can make use of the surrounding words to actually mark an answer in a vocabulary based fill in the blank. Right, so do watch that session in case these pose a problem for you. So let's have a look at a question here. Yes. From where can I get the list of vocabulary with synonyms and antonyms? Okay. See, official guide gives you a list. Okay, it does give you a list of, I think, 800 words are there in it. So I would say that's the best source because it's the official source. Otherwise, there are a lot of lists. In case you just want a list, then you can go for Barron's 800 list. Okay, so otherwise, there are a lot of sources, a lot of lists for synonyms and antonyms. Okay, thank you, Spoon of Flavors, for answering this. Yes, uh, average in quantitative ability. Can I give more weightage to language skills? So Varun, yes, it will help you in enhancing scores, but please remember that NMAT has sectional cutoffs for each section. Okay, so for instance, last year the overall cutoff was 232 for Narsimunji Mumbai, right? And the sectional cutoffs were also pretty equally distributed. So 230 को 3 से divide कर लो, and this was uh, yeah, somewhere around 78, 77, 78. These were the sectional cutoffs also. So my advice to you is aim for an 80 in all the sections. Aim for an 80 in all the sections. That way you'll not be worried about not clearing the cutoff for any of them. Right? So in quantitative aptitude, aim for an 80. So yeah, that would be my suggestion because there are sectional cutoffs. Okay. D, Delhi. Okay. E, all right. Embolden. What does it mean, embolden? You can just separate the word into its constituent parts, the roots. They'll give you the meaning. E, okay. All right. Strain is the tone of your voice here. Strain here means the tone of your voice. In what tone did you talk to this person? I should not have dashed to talk in such a dash strain, especially when I had not studied the man to whom I was talking. Okay, so, excuse me, here, dared, emboldened, ventured, they seem like, you know, they seem like a fit in the first glance. Now, daring, I should not have daring to talk. This is incorrect. I should not have tried. See, grammar helps us before vocabulary here. Grammar comes to our rescue. Yes, I need the past tense here, the past tense of a verb. So, daring and try do not fit. Now, let's have a look at this. E says mellifluous. Can anybody tell me the meaning of mellifluous? Okay. So, Sohail, do you want to take another shot? Yes. Mellifluous. Meaning. Melodious, sweet. So, of course, this person did not talk to whoever he or she is talking about in a mellifluous voice, in a sweet voice. Okay. Because the words are dared, emboldened, ventured. So, E is eliminated again. E is eliminated. Now, these two, out of these two, does emboldened fit in the first blank? I should not have emboldened to talk. We get emboldened by something. Okay. So, for instance, he was emboldened by alcohol, let's say. He drank that day and he was emboldened by it. He got the courage to, let's say something. He got the courage to say or do something by the alcohol that he drank. So so alcohol emboldened him. Okay, or let's say it could be anything that can embolden you. Let's say the support of his brother emboldened him to make that move. The support of his brother emboldened him to make that risky move. So this here, the support of your brother emboldened you. So basically, it means to get the courage from somewhere. So I should not have emboldened to talk. No, you're emboldened by something. Okay, I should not have been emboldened by something. That should have been the sentence, right? Eliminated. Ventured. Again, venture means to take a risk. When you venture to talk in probably a dash manner, you take that risk, right? The word venture means a risky proposition, means indulging in a risky proposition. Okay. Adventure is related to it. Okay. Then entrepreneurs see they start a venture because they undertake a risk, right? So ventured can fit here because this person actually risked it. What is peremptory? Peremptory. There is preemptory, there is peremptory. So, what is peremptory and how is it different from preemptory? Common confusable question for us. Yes, common confusables came in IIFT. Last year, there were a lot of common confusable questions in IIFT. So, yes, tell me, peremptory. And you look down on someone. You talk to them as if they were inferior to you in a very dominating way, in a very harsh way, off-handed way. That is parental, right? So I would say when you talk to someone in a dominating, harsh way. So This fits absolutely, that this person talked to him in a dominating and harsh way, right? And he or she took the risk by doing that. Preemptory. It was a preemptory attack. Okay, preemptory. Usually we put a hyphen in between, but it's okay even if you skip it. Preemptory. If you preempt an attack by the enemy, a lot of armies try to do that, to preempt an attack. What is it that they are doing? A preemptive attack. Insisting for immediate attention. Hmm. Basically, when armies go for a preemptive or preemptory attack, what they do is they attack. So let's say you are anticipating that country X will attack on you, and you attack in advance. You attack first so that your enemy is not able to do that. So that's a preemptive or preemptory attack. Right? So preemptory is different from peremptory, commonly confused words. Peremptory is something that is very offhanded, dominating, harsh. Right? All right. I hope this is clear to you. All the words, if anything is not clear, please ask me. Let's have a look at our eighth question. Again, you have to fill in the blank vocabulary based FID. Yes, let's see. Yes, Kaushal, in a way. Let's see. Let's see who answers the fastest. Murali says B. Ekta says D. Okay. Pragya D. Divya B. All right, all right. I've got a C also. Okay. So B, C, D. Let's have a look. What fits? High prices are often the dash of goods. So, um, if you ask me, I realize that in both of these blanks, nouns fit. They are often the result. They are often the dash of. So they are often, let's say, the consequence of, result of, cause of. So a noun will fit here. Okay, concomitant is not a noun. Concomitant is hand in hand. That's a synonym. Concomitant means hand in hand, going hand in hand. Simultaneous. So can simultaneous fit here? It can't, right? So eliminated. B was the one that I eliminated right away. Accompaniment, cause, result, precursor. Going by grammar, any of these can fit. So now high prices are often the result of glut of goods. Glut means excess. Excess supply is glut. But in case there is a glut of goods, the prices are going to fall. So this violates the law of demand. Yes. In case there is a lot of excess supply in the market, it will not lead to high prices. It will lead to low prices. Yes, law of excess, law of supply. वो violate हो जाएगा. So D is eliminated again. Destitution. Can I use destitution with goods? Destitution. It means extreme poverty. Extreme poverty. So poverty of goods does not fit. Lack of goods is fine. Lack of goods is fine, but poverty of goods is not fine. So they are the cause of poverty of goods, no. So it's either A or E. Yes. Now tell me what the answer should be. Either A or B. E. Rowdy guy says A. All right. Others? So they are often the accompaniment of dearth of goods. They often accompany, they often come along with a lack of goods. Dearth means lack. So dearth fits here, right? And they often, high prices often accompany this lack of goods. So A is the answer here. Precursor is something that comes before the other and signals the onset of the other thing. So high prices are often the precursor of excess of goods? No. No, they don't indicate that tomorrow there will be an excess supply of these goods. So A is the answer here. E does not fit. Yes, dearth means lack. Absolutely correct. Hope this makes sense. Yes, any query, please ask. Okay, then let's talk about the last question type that came in the exam, that has been given in the indicative syllabus also. 6 to 7 analogy questions came in my slot. Okay, now they were more on the logical side. For instance, the words were like pen is to paper, you know, the words were such, but you had to figure out the logical relationship. Were they logically similar to the word in the question or not? So I remember some words such as subtle, genuine, such words were there in analogies. Only one question had, it was heavy on vocabulary. It had difficult vocabulary words. Otherwise, most of them had these commonly used words, subtle, genuine, right? It was less vocabulary intensive, more on figuring out, okay, is this a similar relationship or not, right? So that's why I would call them easy to moderate, because they were not very difficult when it comes to vocabulary. Concomitant means yes, but concomitant merely is an adjective. So high prices are concomitant with. High prices can be concomitant with something, but high prices cannot be concomitant of something. Here I need a noun, right? That's the difference. Hope this is clear. Okay. So let's have a look at our question, our analogy question. Question 9. Car is to road. So simple. Tell me, what is the most similar relationship here? Okay, I've got A. Kunal also says A. Karthik says A. Others? Last question type for the day. Just be a little enthusiastic. Okay. Easy, right? Car travels or plies on road or travels via road. Okay. So similarly, electricity also travels in a way via a cable. Ink is to pencil does not bear the same relationship. Ink does not travel via pencil. Bomb, missile, flies to bird, scooter is to tire. We are talking about a component part and not really about how a scooter plies on road, right? So A is the answer. A is the closest relationship. So see, you figured it out quite easily, isn't it? Right? Bomb is to missile. That does not share a similar relationship, no? We are talking about two types of weapons here. These are two types of weapons. These are not two types of something, two types of vehicles, let's say. No. Coming to the last question for the day. Achha, one of you asks why not D. Fly is to bird. Fly is to bird. See, the correct analogy, if you wanted to give it with this relationship, would be bird is to sky. Okay, just like a car travels on road, a bird travels in sky. Bird is to sky would be the correct analogy, not fly is to bird. The moment you see fly, at that very moment it becomes wrong. Okay. All right. Coming to foresight is to far-sightedness. This is a good one actually. Foresight is to far-sightedness. What are they? What is the relationship between them? Yes. Last question. Come on, come on. D. Okay. D. Delhi. Rahul also says D. Aniket D. Absolutely correct. Very good. So here students do get confused, but I'm very happy that you could relate the given expression, the given pair to thinker is to visionary. Okay. Um, First of all, these are synonyms. Yes. So I had to find the perfect synonym pair. The perfect synonym pair here is D. Others are similar words, but they are not exactly synonyms. I'll tell you why. Also, while this is also related to thinking, for when you have foresight, you're able to see things in advance, you're able to discern things mentally in advance, okay, that this is going to happen. And this is also related to thinking. So that was also one strong clue here, right? Both of these are related to thinking. Long is to lengthy. They are not the same actually. Lengthy carries a slightly negative connotation. Lengthy means that something is so long that it tires you. It is tedious. So long that it is tedious. Similarly, clever is a positive word to describe someone, while cunning is negative. Further and farther, they are different because further can be used for progress anywhere in time. For instance, if I say as we proceed further, things will become clearer to you. Farther is used only for physical distance. So farther is narrower that way, right? And just because something is or someone is short, that does not mean that he or she is a dwarf, right? So dwarfism is a condition where the person is short beyond, let's say, the usual levels. So short is to dwarf, again, they are not synonymous, right? Yes, because these words are similar, no? And in fact, if you open the dictionary, no, and you see long, lengthy will appear as a synonym. So it's only by reading these words in different contexts that you realize that whenever a person uses lengthy, it's not a compliment. It means that something is tedious here. There's a reason why we call the fox the cunning fox. That is, in case you read the correct story in your childhood, it was the cunning fox, right? We were not very fond of the fox, right? So negative connotation. Then this is about degree. This I think was clear to you. And farther, these are two words that we've discussed a lot in common confusables. This is about physical distance. This can be about metaphorical distance also, right? Yes, I do take snap sessions also, and we are going to have some snap sessions this month. So Priya, stay tuned. I see you from Tuesday to Saturday, 12 p.m. to 1 p.m. over our YouTube channel, right? And we are going to discuss snap, NMAT, IFT, of course, a lot of CAT in this month. All right. The All India Open Mock for CAT is live. Do take it. Do gauge your performance against a lot of aspirants from India. And this is our CAT 23 batch. In case any of your friends are looking to join it, we offer a lot of things in just one comprehensive program, right? So you can consider enrolling, or your friends can consider enrolling. And this is a test series that you can buy 70 plus mocks, 20 CAT, 50 non-CAT. So that actually comes to 9,500 plus practice questions. Okay. And there are also a lot of topic tests that are there. Okay. So it's a very comprehensive package again. The last lap to 22, CAT 22, I think you saw the promo video in the beginning also. So it is live. It is already live. We've been having sessions today at 7 p.m. I'll see you and we will talk about how to eliminate options. Yes, this is a very common concern. Options nahi eliminate hote hain, right? So we'll talk about that and do stay tuned for these sessions. Do join us at 7 p.m. every day, right? Okay, and you can stay connected with us via Facebook, Instagram, and via this Telegram channel. Okay, so this is it about today. I hope this session helped you it gave you some more insight about NMAT language skills. If it did, then yes, please press the like button, and I'll see you tomorrow at 12. Bye bye. Welcome, welcome all of you. Bye.